Hello, my name is Davy Garaix, and I'm going to talk about local storage in JavaScript today. So what is local storage? Local storage is an API that JavaScript has as part of the HTML5 features. And with that, you can allow storing data into the actual browser on the client side. And as you can see, there are some benefits, and you can see the differences between local storage, session storage, and cookies. Local storage and session storage are pretty much similar, except that session storage, you'll lose that data when you close the browser, when you close the tab, as opposed to local storage, it doesn't expire. And cookies, well, it requires interacting with a server, and the size is very small, as you can see, the size of data that can be stored in there. What are the benefits? Well, of a local storage. It lasts forever, or until it's explicitly cleared through JavaScript, or maybe someone clears their cache. It doesn't require all this server interaction going back and forth, so that means it's super fast. It's as fast as your computer, as your browser, and you can store way more things than in cookies. And it's really easy to use. And I'm going to go over the API real quick. So you have a few different methods. The main ones are set item and get item. So you can set, you choose the key, and then you set a value to that key. And then to get item, you just get, you pass key as the parameter to get that value from that key. There's a little example down here. So local storage dot set item, and let's say my key is first question and my value is true. And then here on the second line, I can store that through the get item method, and I can store it into the answer variable. And other methods, I can remove the item. I can clear the entire local storage. By the way, local storage is domain based, meaning if you clear the local storage, it only clears for that domain. So while I suppose it's possible through hacking, it's not intended that a website accesses the local storage of another website, for example, on your computer. And also the data must be stored in string format. If you store an object, then it'll just return objects, so you have to stringify those objects first. So how is local storage used, and how can it be used? So it can do things such as remembering some of the information you've typed before, such as a last person, some searches you've made. You can, let's say, save text as you type it in one of those text areas. Let's say you're writing an email, and then let's say your browser crashes. Well, if you reopen to that page, and if the website uses local storage, you can probably have that text back, because it can be frustrating if you have to type everything all over again. It can remember choices that you've made in some forms. That way you can continue where you left off, assuming you haven't finished before. And you can also remember some of your preferences, such as your font color and pictures. And I'm going to go over an example. Let me show you an example. This is not my example, but I really like this example. You can choose a background color, and it'll automatically change it here. You can change the font, and you can have like a different picture here. And if you let's say I reopen that, or let's say I close that, and I reopen that that website, it'll remember my preferences. And it does this through web storage. So I have opened the source here from this website, and down here we can see that this is where they have their JavaScript, and I've opened that file, and here is where the magic is happening with local storage. So here it says if the key BG color doesn't exist in local storage, then go ahead and execute this function, which pretty much populates the local storage with these values. and then after it'll set styles and it'll retrieve the values that are in the local storage, and it'll update the style of the website appropriately. And so yeah, that's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.